Okay, so we have another generator. This is a different creative testing world, solely with the create mod. So this makes use of the furnace engine. Basically, it's an infinite generating fuel for the furnace engine. So, first of all, it's powered by a renewable source, water wheels taken to a vertical gearbox, the shaft into a mechanical bearing, and that mechanical bearing is attached to this radial chassis that is then attached to a linear chassis, and then with mechanical harvesters, and then just your standard kelp farm being harvested. Goes into the chest, the interface meshes together. Just a little bit of lag there. Goes into the chute, and the reason why I messed with the funnel earlier, but I decided to go with the chute because the funnel goes one by one. But it is actually way more efficient if we use a chute, because a chute can shoot out multiple items at a time. So that's a good sort of solution to that. We then go here to this cooking station where the kelp gets cooked to dry kelp, one kelp into the mechanical press. And yeah, I mean, after the mechanical press smashes into a kelp block, it'll traverse down here where these brass funnels will accept kelp blocks as fuel, and then any excess kelp thrown into this chest. And once that chest hits 64, or stack of kelp blocks, it'll be discarded into lava. Now in the future, this might have to sort of be discarded, and whatever kelp blocks here will be passed down to the assembly line, just so we could make use of all that kelp. I haven't looked into that yet, but we will. But let's talk about how this is still being powered infinitely. So furnace needs to have something smelting all the time for this entire thing to work. I use a standard furnace, and you can see here that we use potatoes. So what happens here is using the same water wheel system. Basically, all of this is water wheel system, and whatever is powered through these two furnace engines have not been used yet. You see here we have a 32768 capacity for these furnace wheels, and so all of this is just water wheel. I think it's maxed out too. We'll check that out right now. Oops. Yeah, we're at 120. And that little glitch right there, I'm not sure. Oh, it might be from the mechanical press, honestly. But yeah. So all of this is connected. The mechanical press is connected from the water wheel system using belts, and this sort of perpendicular gear ratio. And one of those belts is actually connected here. So what happens here is we have a adjustable redstone repeater, and you can sort of adjust how many seconds this is activated, and it's sort of like a redstone clock in one block. So we just made a standard redstone block, and then this is a gear shift. So whenever the gear shift is activated, it'll switch directions, and then that is I didn't actually know this, but you can connect chain drives from different directions. So I actually utilize that idea here. So this chain drive basically is connected to this chain drive and this chain drive, which is connected to these encased fans. And encased fans pull and push things into and from the furnace, or from and into the furnace. So you can see here that every 1 second it's being pushed, every 1 second it's being dropped. So yeah, I mean, that ensures us that this is going to forever be smelting. And that's basically how the entire thing works. If you look here, and this is one of the problems from the older models that I did, which is right over there, using duplication for carpets. We can turn this into a infinite engine system, but that didn't work because every now and then we can test this out. Actually, not that. Every now and then this thing right here, that's weird, it should be connecting. Anyhow, every now and then the speed will go to 0 RPM for that because the timings are off. A carpet will smelt something for 67 ticks, and you can't really set this time to exactly 67 ticks because it goes after 20, it goes to 1 second. Whereas here I can just set this to, I set this to 1 second, and every 1 second, because a kelp block, I believe, burns for 4,000 ticks, which is 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's a nice number to work with. Anyways, that's pretty much it. If you wanted to extract the power from these two furnace engines, which, by the way, is this much because we're duplicating those, we can just take this, connect it from 2 vertical gearboxes, take the shaft here, and pretend that everything here is covered. This is our generator, this whole thing, and we can just take this right here and start making machines with it. And yeah, I mean, we have 32k stress units to work with, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, well, as a kelp block moves, a design note for this is, you see, when the kelp block fills this up eventually, it's gonna take a while. So a suggestion would be, before you even set this entire thing up and have it work, have it so that the kelp block on the second furnace is already near a full stack. And the reason for this, or no, not this one, the first furnace is near full stack. The reason for this is because if this were not even near full stack, and we have our kelp blocks here, can take a bit. It's gonna be taken up by this furnace engine, and imagine if this didn't have anything either, this wouldn't run. So it's very important for us to fill up this first so that it can begin fueling this furnace, so that both engines are running and you still have that 32k. Otherwise, one engine will be running and you have that 16k, and we don't want that. We want this. And this is fully modular. All you have to do is add another chain drive. Just this entire system, just add it again. Add the chain drives. The redstone clock is already applied to all of these systems by the chain drive, so you just have to duplicate that. And yeah, that's how you make an infinite power source out of kelp farm into a furnace engine. Very efficient.